Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if the All Valley tournament was cancelled during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? So in this timeline, the events of the school fight would still happen. Tori would start the school fight, and the fight would still carry on. Robbie would still kick Miguel off the balcony. Tori and Robbie would be expelled, and Robbie would go to juvie. Miguel would still be paralyzed, and Johnny would help Miguel recover. Kreese would train Cobra Kai for the All Valley, and the events of Cobra Kai Season 3 would carry on. The rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would continue. Kreese would train Hawk to be Cobra Kai's #1 student, and he would still manipulate Robbie in juvie. Daniel would still go to Okinawa and learn the pressure point technique from Chosen, and by the time he gets back, he would still reopen up Miyagi-Do, and Johnny would help Miguel walk again. Johnny would still form Eagle Fang, and the 3 dojos would train for the All Valley, but the All Valley would be cancelled. Daniel, Kreese, and Johnny would find out, so they would go to the All Valley hearing committee to try to save the tournament. Miguel and Sam wouldn't show up in this timeline. Kreese would try talking to the board, but Daniel would interrupt him, and so would Johnny. And Councilperson Roberts would see the bickering between Kreese, Johnny, and Daniel. The committee would decide to cancel the tournament. They would realize that the rivalry between Cobra Kai, Eagle Fang, and Miyagi-Do was the cause of the school fight, so the All Valley tournament would officially be cancelled, and the 3 dojos would go home in defeat. Kreese would tell his students that Miyagi-Do was the reason the All Valley was cancelled, so the Cobra Kais would want to get their revenge on Miyagi-Do. And since Sam never went to the All Valley committee, she would never hang out with Miguel, so Robbie would show up at Miyagi-Do, and Sam and Robbie would reconnect. Sam would apologize to Robbie, and Robbie would forgive Sam, so Robbie would decide to rejoin Miyagi-Do. Daniel would be happy to see Robbie again. Daniel would continue teaching his students to defend themselves. Johnny would continue teaching his students, even though they weren't going to fight during the All Valley, so Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do wouldn't team up in this timeline. The house fight would still happen. Cobra Kai would show up at Daniel's house. They would be angry at Miyagi-Do because they would think that they were the reason that the All Valley was cancelled. Tori would say that since they had nowhere to fight, they were just going to have to do it there. So there would be a house fight between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, but Robbie would be there to help Miyagi-Do out. But Cobra Kai would outnumber Miyagi-Do, even with Robbie on their side. But Hawk would still redeem himself in this timeline. He would help Miyagi-Do win. Daniel would still go home. He would see what Cobra Kai had done, and he would be angry, so Daniel would go confront Kreese all by himself. Johnny would go home, and he would tell Carmen that he loved her. Miguel would be happy to see Johnny and his mom. Daniel would arrive at the Cobra Kai dojo, and he would want to fight Kreese, so Kreese and Daniel would still fight, and Daniel would use the pressure point technique against Kreese, but Sam and Robbie would still show up in time to stop Daniel. Kreese would say that this wasn't over. He would tell Daniel to prepare for a war. Daniel would tell him that they'll be ready, so the rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would continue, and Hawk would end up joining Miyagi-Do in this timeline, but he would stay as Hawk. Many of the Cobra Kai students would quit, but Kreese would continue training his students, and since Johnny and Daniel never teamed up, Kreese would never get Terry Silver, and Miyagi-Do would continue to train to defend themselves against Cobra Kai. Kenny would still go see Robbie, and Kenny would end up joining Miyagi-Do in this timeline. Robbie would help fix the relationship between Kenny and Anthony, so they wouldn't be enemies, and the 3 dojos would go their separate ways, and there would be various fights between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, and that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if the All Valley tournament was cancelled during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra if you want to support the channel even more. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.